Hi, I'm Sam. Welcome to the second official devlog for the Unreal Engine Grand Strategy game, Blood and Iron. A large and diverse chunk of the map has been completed over the last month, as well as a bunch of core systems which we use to build gameplay mechanics. Like the previous devlog, I'm going to answer some questions and show off the inner workings of the game, then explain some of the history and gameplay mechanics implemented. There will be timestamps, so you can skip to the technical overview if you want. Some videos ago, I showed the navigation of a troop around the map, and elaborated a bit on the method used. In short, I use A*, which is a standard pathing algorithm that utilizes a database of provinces and their adjacencies plus distance. It uses a heuristic of the distance of the target province and the evaluating province to cull provinces from the searching algorithm, and is incredibly fast. The visual for the path is a placeholder, but is simply made of a spline with each point being the location of the province, with the location of the unit being determined in my custom map editor. The adjacencies are generated by a separate tool I wrote, which analyzes each pixel and its neighbors in the province ID texture to find its adjacencies. The first version of this I calculated would take 5 days to complete, which is obviously unacceptable. I optimized it a bit further by using a function to grab pixels and its neighbors in one go, as unlocking and locking a texture to read from is very costly. I could optimize it further, but now it takes about 30 minutes to do and is all cached for fast loading times for the player. I got a couple of questions on how I did the topography. It's relatively straightforward. Nanite Tessellation allows for pixel perfect level of detail and is super optimized. To enable, go to the default engine.ini and plug in the commands under script engine rendering settings. Now in the material editor for a surface material, you can enable tessellation, set its bounds, and plug in a displacement texture. For this I used a massive 32K virtual texture to get the most out of this feature. The single largest development in the map so far is the addition of the Ottoman Empire and North Africa. The Turks start with one of the largest land empires to face the earth, but is immediately in danger in all directions. West in the Balkans, they continue to lose territory from various revolts, resulting in an independent Serbia and Greece. In the north, Russia wishes to expand its influence and territories in the Caucasus. Their unloyal and influential puppets in the south, Egypt and Tripolitania, are vying for independence, and the east, their uncentralized Kurdish vassals and Iraqi puppets wish to retain their autonomy. These regions are by far the most diverse culturally and religiously than any other part of the map, with most provinces having no one culture dominant. All the data used in this is based on a combination of the Ottoman censuses of 1831 and 44, as well as various Russian and British military and diplomatic estimates. I understand a lot of these sorts of things are highly contentious and delicate, so if you wish to point out an error, please do so politely and by stating a specific source. Don't provide links as YouTube removes these comments automatically for whatever reason, but I think I've done a pretty decent job. I've also created a very work-in-progress population overview screen, which will be expanded on to see modifiers and overall statistics. Note that for the Ottoman Empire, this screen does not count the autonomous Kurdish tribes and other countries like Egypt and Iraq, which make it skewed towards the European and Anatolian parts of the empire. Also note that the way the game handles coloring of provinces is that if no single culture is the majority, it will display the two largest cultures, or if the second largest culture is greater than 35%. One of the most important systems in a strategy game is the Modifier system, which influences a variety of factors from trade to mobilization speed. In short, the way the modifiers work in Blood and Iron is that each state has a scope given by the prefix, such as pop_, prov_, state_, and nat_. When any modifier is applied at any level, it will cascade down to the correct scope before being cached. Originally, the way the game created states, which are small regions created by multiple provinces, is by having each province have a unique 5-long number, with the first number being the continent ID, the second and third being the state ID, and the fourth and fifth being the province ID. I thought this was a great system, as it required a lot less data. However, this was a terrible idea. It was unexpandable and required more data tables anyway, and was super slow due to the way that number and string conversions work. The new system I implemented is a lot better. Each province has a unique ID, which in its structure data refers to a state with a unique ID, which then refers to a region with a unique ID, which then refers to a continent with a unique ID. This allows for a cascade of references, which is super clean and fast. I also wrote a tool to convert the legacy data into this new form. States then can be split between countries by dynamically creating buffer states. In Victoria 3, pops only exist on the state level as an optimization. This means that the granularity of pop diversity is really quite poor, and a massive drop down in quality from Victoria 2. I believe this was mainly done for optimization reasons. In Blood and Iron, pops will exist on the provincial level, and in complicated trade and migration mechanics will be handled on the state level, getting the best of both worlds. The pop system in Blood and Iron is inspired by that of the Victoria series by Paradox. However, it has some major new features, the largest being that each pop has 3 different size parameters, being for children, carers, workers, and elderly. This will be used to simulate demographic changes as well as a variety of social movements and how they impact the economy and fertility rates. To simulate urbanization, there will also be certain types of pops that only reside in the capital of a state, such as bureaucrats, capitalists, and engineers. I might also make academics capital only once a certain technology is reached. This will make state capitals become hives of bureaucracy and trade, which these pops subsequently being weighted towards different ideologies will then simulate the more modern urban-rural vote divide. This also acts as optimization. I've also created a new pop type unique to Blood and Iron, being the tribesmen. They act as inefficient bureaucrats, aristocrats, and soldiers when being of an accepted culture. However, the only way for colonial powers to make use of them is by slowly converting them to become modern jobs like farmers. This will make colonies initially be a massive money drain and make African countries have a large mobilization size despite their small population at the start of the game. I've got a couple of questions on when I plan to make a Discord server. It will probably be by the next devlog, which will be longer because I'll be back at uni and work. I'll aim to have population growth, migration, and production and a bit of trade done by then. Thanks so much for watching. I hope the audio is a bit better in this one, and please like and subscribe if this helps you or you're interested in the game. Thanks for watching and have a great day.